Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Itay Vinik, Chief Investment Officer of Equi, to discuss why investors are increasingly turning to alternative investments. Itay, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to TradeTalks.
Thank you for having me.
You got it. Tell us about Equi and your investment models, particularly as it relates to alts.
Yeah, no problem. So Equi is actually one of the fastest growing investment platforms that is VC backed. And what makes us really unique is that we actually have a base of asset management ourselves. So we build a portfolio based on big data. So we look at over 12,000 funds to really try to find the best ones that are not just performing well, but also uncorrelated to broader equity markets, bond markets, et cetera. And we also have our own proprietary strategy mixed within the external strategy that we have. So it really marries the two of them.
How do you think investors can prepare themselves for the uncertainty of today's environment?
Yeah, I mean, we're in one of the most volatile macro environments we've been to since the GFC. I think it's a lot like the 1970s when we had periods of inflation and different types of macro conditions. Diversification, again, is the only true free lunch. And at Equi, we felt that there weren't enough return drivers out there besides, let's say, managed futures, stocks and bonds that are also organized in the right way. So we figured that one of the best things we could do is really create this type of alternative uncorrelated basket that you can basically add on, and it will add to a 60-40 or a stock portfolio. So again, diversification, non-correlated return drivers.
Itay, what are some examples of the alternative investments that you offer on Equi?
Yeah, so we have a mix of anything from macro funds to alternative private lending, all the way through some life insurance vehicles. And basically everything is sized using an optimizer in order to figure the exact allocation that should be included in the portfolio.
Let's talk macro for a minute here. Do you think the Fed will pivot because of the bank failures and new inflation data? Yeah,
that's a $1 trillion question. So I think before we even go and talk about the Fed pivot and when it's going to happen, I think one of the things that we should consider is what is the implication of it to risk assets. So if you go back to 2008, 2007, or even 2000, 2001 market, the pivot moment where the Fed started cutting rates actually led to decreases in risk prices. And it accelerated the down move because the pivot actually happened too late. So if you look at that, we're already in the midst of a recession. Going back to 2022, there were multiple times the market rallied because they thought the pivot is going to happen. And then the Fed iterated that it would not. So at the moment, Fed fund futures are pricing in substantial rate decreases, a few rate cuts, even into the end of this year. But the Fed has reiterated that that would not be the case, as evident in the dot plot. So again, this is something we're monitoring consistently. And as of the moment, I really think it's an uncertain, there's no real answer with a high degree of confidence whether or not they're going to pivot in the near term.
And finally, have you seen more interest in Equi and the alternative investment market space overall because of the volatility we're experiencing?
Yeah, we have seen a massive uptick in applications to come onto the platform, especially in recent months. And really, a lot of what we've done last year, our growth and income fund had positive performance with very little correlation and very little volatility compared to the S&P. So there's been a lot of uptick in demand and applications. On top of that, we've also seen demand to come into our new product, which was a part of our fund-of-fund offering, Equi Dynamic Alpha. It produced around 16 to 16.5% net of all fees return last year in a very difficult macro environment. And now it's currently open to new investors. So very happy about that.
All right, Itay, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thank you so much.